Will Delegate Assembly please come to order? Could you please lead us in the pledge?
Will do. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. While we have our law enforcement report, please check over the minutes.
Okay.
You're up.
Thank you. Uh-oh. Good morning, Century Village.
Good morning.
Aren't we blessed? What a beautiful October morning. It's going to be a hot one today. So I don't have a lot to tell you regarding, it was kind of a light month, but, you know, all the standard operating procedures, keep taking care of each other. If you see something suspicious, please let us know. For those of you that are technology minded, I just remind you we have apps, in the App Store that, PBSO Connect app that you can get in touch with us. For those of you, I kind of like the phone myself. I'm a phone kind of guy, so obviously pick up the phone. Our non-emergency number, for those that may not have that, I always recommend that you have it programmed in your phone, 561-688-3400. That's our non-emergency. So if you're out there and you see something, please let us know so we can come help you and deal with it. For the activity report for September, there were 221 calls for service. Out of those calls, only 33 cases were reported. Out of those cases, our cases of interest, it was very, very light this last month. So we had one complaint of a theft in Sheffield B. The victim left the air compressor outside and was being used for repairs to the roofs in the community. Apparently this was a contractor and it was taken overnight. Yeah. We had 2 vandalisms. Deputies were conducting a traffic stop on a stolen vehicle and it crashed into the community gate, causing damage. That person was held accountable, to say the least. Victim's vehicle window was discovered shattered and it appears something ricocheted off the glass, but we weren't able to determine what it was, and that was in Windsor G. One fraud of concern that was noted here in the report. The victim received a pop-up message on the computer instructing him to contact Microsoft. When the victim called the number on the screen, he was instructed to give access to his computer and his bank account. $400 was transferred out, and the victim was instructed to purchase a $600 gift card. And he did this before realizing he was scammed, lost $1,000. So also be careful when you use these transfer technology apps like Zelle or Venmo. Zelle is really big about, they give you like a warning. Are you sure you want to they give you like 2 warnings. And once you hit that last warning, it's kind of really on you that you're sending this money to who you're supposed to send it to. So be aware, because that's really outside of your bank's purview. So if you are a victim of fraud or loss, I don't know. I have a lot of experience dealing with financial institutions. When I was a detective, the banks really stand behind you. But with all this new technology that's out there, I know a lot of it makes our lives easier. Be careful of these companies that you deal with, because they do have disclaimers that once you send the money out, they're not responsible for who you send it to. So be careful if you use Zelle or Venmo. We did have a report of a neighborhood dispute in Kingswood B, and it involved a board member on the HOA. The incident was documented, and deputies are following that up. So just be aware. Our traffic report. So we conducted 28 traffic stops in the village in September, and out of those 28 traffic stops, 29 citations were written, 7 written warnings, and 1 verbal warning. There were no arrests related to traffic, no accidents, so we were in good shape. I know it's one of our lighter months, September, and we're going to be coming into the season. So as we work with the elders here, we're going to be, picking up our presence for enforcement for the winter months. Does anybody have any question to me or Lieutenant Hood before we wrap up and turn the meeting back over? No? Okay. Thank you so much, everyone. We really appreciate it. We'll see you at 1 o'clock.
Excuse me.
Yes.
I'd like to bring to your attention that you advised us always lock your cars.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, I didn't. And what happened was within 2 weeks after I had purchased a iPad. It was stolen out of my car. I went into your local retail store, which is just across the street, and they helped me look for it. They couldn't find it. But they advised me that I could lock it. Now, that goes back to March. Less than a month ago, on my iPhone, I was advised that here it is. And so I called your precinct.
Mm-hmm.
They sent over one of your deputies. He accompanied me to where it indicated that my iPad was. And he was very shrewd about it. He went in, he took my phone. The gentleman there said, I know nothing, but my phone was beeping, so it was there. He located it and gave it back to me, gave me the opportunity if I wanted to file charges, which I didn't. So all I could tell you was that your deputies, including a woman deputy, had done a sterling job.
Thank you.
And it was a lesson to me, lock your car, but also if you have an iPhone or an iPad, you could trace it. Just make sure you do what you have to do. I didn't know, and they showed us. So congratulations to your...
Thank you. And that's a great point. Technology cuts both ways. The criminals like using it, but we can use it to reverse engineer where they're at. So if you do have Apple products, that Find My iPhone is a great tool. And like the gentleman just said, we do use that to go after people. And maybe we can't substantiate their criminal intent, but we can certainly be an advocate to recover your property, and that's what happened in this particular case. So make sure you always link your Apple devices on Find My iPhone. It's very important to do that because that gives you a measure of security. If it does come up missing or someone steals it, you can contact law enforcement and we can work with the other device that you have to locate it. Okay? Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.
Thank you. I've been informed we have a quorum of 132 delegates, so we can conduct business. I'm going to ask our fire rescue person to please address us.
Good morning, Al Pulvereni with Professional Firefighters 2928. Just come in here to say hi. I do want to add to something about his iPad real quick because it's on my mind. When you put things like your cell phones and your iPads and you lock your cars, don't make them visible because they're going to smash your window because they're expensive items. They want those things. They know they can get information if they're able to crack it. So that's not my privy. I'm here to rescue people, but just think about that. We know season's coming. So my message to you is take your time, know where you're going, wear your seatbelt, check your smoke detectors, make sure that everyone that's coming in understands that they're coming down to South Florida, drink water, stay hydrated. But one thing recently, I don't know if you know, Palm Beach County Fire Rescue has a high water truck. Please be advised if you see a road and you see a flooding and you can't see the road, 2 feet of water will float your car. So don't continue, stop, turn around, go to your friend's house, wait till the water go down, because we've been getting some heavy rain. We had it up in my area in Martin County. A couple cars got stuck, and it can turn into a bigger incident. So just please be safe, and please keep on the radar and watching the news for hurricanes. Be prepared for that. Just remember the young firefighters at Station 23 were the 6-year-old kids way back when that wore the plastic helmet, and we really appreciate everyone in Century Village letting us serve you. So we appreciate that. It's a calling to be fire rescue. So it's not a job. We really enjoy our job. We really love serving the public here. So have a great day.
Do we have any corrections to the minutes as presented? I will entertain a motion to accept the minutes. Okay. Marilyn and George, you're going to second it? Okay. We're going to start off with officers' reports. So we're going to start off with Patricia.
Oh, okay. Good morning. Thank you for coming. I know I sound like a broken record, but I'm going to say it again. People stop me in the street, tell me what's wrong with the buses, what can I do to do this, that, and the other. I have no authority without going through the bus company, and the only way they'll do anything, and they told me so at my meeting is the first Tuesday every month at 1:30, and he said if it's not in writing, they're not going to take it over the phone from me. So there are forms here, and you can ask for it for a suggestion, for a complaint, to compliment the driver, and also at UCO. I get all forms from here and from the office, and immediately Donald scans them for me over to the Academy Bus Company. So please, I really want to help everyone, but I can't do it verbally. Everything is done in writing. Even when you have a complaint, you should do it in writing so you have a record of what's going on. And another thing I'd like to bring up, we're all volunteers. We also have a very busy life outside of UCO. And when people come in with an attitude and sarcasm and cursing, it's really not nice. If we tell you that something's expired and you can't get a barcode, don't fight with the people. Accept it. It's a rule. There's rules everywhere. You have rules in school, you have rules in the bakery, you have rules in church, in the synagogue. So don't be so defiant. It isn't really nice. And I'll end it with, have a wonderful and blessed day, and God bless you.
Thank you, Patricia. Stuart.
Based on the police reports, we have to consider ourselves extremely lucky living in Century Village. Compared to the rest of the United States, we're virtually crime-free, and I think that's really terrific for us. Just a few comments. The other day, about a week ago, I was standing outside my building, and I see this man and woman dragging a mattress towards the dumpster, piling it on top of a whole bunch of furniture. So I ran over and I said, you can't put any of this stuff out. The rule is put it out on Friday because that's when we have it scheduled to pick up. The woman looked at me with a nice smile on her face and said, my real estate broker said it was okay to do it. So I said, no, it's not. And please don't put any stuff out there anymore. And for the last 3 or 4 days, little pieces here and there is adding to the pile. And we're just waiting now for the debris to be picked up by the Waste Pro. One of the things that you should be aware of is that when you go in a supermarket, the prices are going up and we're in an inflationary spiral. And that is impacting our lives here in Century Village. And one of the things that I saw on television was the Citizens Insurance Company made a statement that they were going to refuse to insure renters in Florida, and any people who live in Florida as a snowbird or it's not their official residence, they're not going to insure them. So it's an issue that you have to be concerned about because without insurance and something happens in your building, some fault not your own, it's going to be your cost. So you better, discuss this with the people in the building. And that's it. Finished.
Thank you. Joanne.
Morning, everybody. First, thank you all for being here. It's lovely to see 132 delegates here in September. I just wanted to let everyone know that we're continuing to develop content on the TV channels. So please, if you haven't already, keep checking on channels 590, 91, and 92. And anyone that wants to submit, I know people take a lot of lovely pictures and short videos and things. We do have an email address that you can send the material to. It's cbtv@unitedcivic.org. and I will do my best to get as much as I can. I want to keep things current and interesting, and I'm looking for photographers in particular. We have one or two around the village, and I'd really, we need as many as we can get. But that's it for me, so thank you.
Thank you, Joanne. David Boaz.
Good morning. Everybody looks different when I'm sitting on this side of the table. Excuse me, in last month's, or this current month's UCO Reporter was a brochure of the upcoming shows. It really is an exciting program of shows that they're presenting. Hope everybody takes an opportunity to read that and get their show tickets. A great turnout for this assembly. And we all the officers love talking to you, but we do have to ask you not to come up on the stage after the meeting is done. If you want to talk to somebody, please wait till everybody's off the stage. Other than that, I thank you and hope to see you soon. Thanks.
Thank you, David. How about our treasurer's report?
Good morning, everybody. I hope you could hear me. First of all, I want to apologize for being a few minutes late, but the traffic on the Long Island Expressway this morning was just unbearable, and it's a long drive to get in here. I want to bring to your attention that at the last Delegate Assembly, I asked if anybody had any items they wanted to squeak or put in for the budget. Also, many of you should have gotten my email wherein for the first time the budget was made available to over 400 people before any meeting. And as it happens, at this finance meeting, there were some changes, and there was an objection to vote on it until those changes were input into a hard copy, although the total amount of increase in the original budget was $4,000. However, another email will be going out with the revision as of now, and then the budget will be brought forward. I implore all of you to take a look at it. I did find that the fact that we didn't vote on it came as a blessing, because afterwards I got an inquiry, was it too late to make a change or recommend a substantial change? And it's not, and I assume that's going to be brought forward. As to our monthly report, nothing tremendous has happened. We again lost a few bucks. And unlike the federal government, there's no chance we're closing down, because while we have tremendous differences in politics, we're well funded. So that's a blessing. And again, I offer anybody who has any detailed questions to call. I am not in the office as much anymore because of physical, maybe mental too. So I could tell you this, from what's going on in Washington, I think serving in UCO is a good preparation. So if anybody wants a job, you still can go to DC. They can't seem to get a Speaker of the House. Other than that, I invite anybody for any questions, and have a wonderful rest of the year. Thank you.
Okay. In your package, you have a couple of flyers. The most important one is the pill drop, which will be next month. Please take that, put it up on your bulletin board, so everyone in your building knows that next month, first Friday, PBSO will be here to remove unwanted medicine. There's a list of what they'll take, and there's a list of what they will not take. Please take advantage of that. The other is preparation that March 1st, 2024, the positions that will be open for you, the delegates, to vote on. So be thinking about that and be ready for a lot of political rhetoric. Also, I'm bringing it to your attention. I spoke to Niels this morning. For those of you that are coming into Century Village and heading north on Haverhill, the turnoff that we have to turn left is being used by people going south on Haverhill and turning into Aloha. This happened to me personally twice, and I understand to Commissioner Weiss, where he found himself somebody making a turn from the wrong lane. So just watch yourself when you come into the village that there isn't somebody in your turning lane, okay? Not everybody can react very quickly, and some of these people are doing 40 and 50 miles an hour. Donald, how about a CAM report?
Morning, everyone. Update on the Reflection Bay project. Last week, county commissioners unanimously voted to approve the project. It will move forward. I'm told by the developer that we should start seeing major construction in about a year. So nothing happening immediately. Connected to that project is the dredging of the South Canal, which extends from Reflection Bay across to about the Turnpike. That project's moving forward. The quiet title action, which our attorneys are working on to get UCO complete ownership of the entire stretch of that canal, is nearly complete. It should be done by next month. We've also commissioned a survey to be performed of the property, and that's part of the engineering report that's being created for the project, the engineering plan. So that's moving forward. I'm sure you've noticed we've had quite a bit of rain lately, and that could be a problem when we have blocked storm drains. We do our best to patrol the storm drains, make sure that they're clear. But during a windy storm, these things can get clogged up, winds and palm fronds and such. So we have to make sure we get out there and clear them. I was asked at a previous meeting if I see a clogged catch basin, should I just get out there and clear it? I'd say a qualified yes, but I just wanted to say if you do see a blocked storm drain, there's a lot of water on top of it, then no, leave it alone. Because once you rake off those leaves, you got a lot of water start swirling, and it could knock you off. It knock you off your feet. It's happened to me. So it's something to keep an eye on. If you do see an area that's flooded because of a blocked storm drain, call me, call security. We'll get somebody over there immediately, get it unblocked. Just one more thing related to the rain. Because of all the rain, some of your property managers have turned off your sprinkler systems. So if you don't see your sprinklers that go off, they're probably not broken. You don't want to put too much water on your lawns, because then you're going to have problems like dollarweed. You don't want that, and that comes from overwatering. All right, that's all I have for this month, unless you guys have something for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Donald. There's one item that I did forget. We had a problem with the Haverhill Gatehouse being hit by lightning twice. There was a substantial amount of damage, a lot of equipment had to be replaced, and we are having problems with the barcode lane. It is being worked on. Right now, we have the pointing process. It's their fault, it's his fault, but our IT person, Gate Access, and ABDI are working on it. We were hoping to get it fixed by this week. If people are having problems, just show your ID. The guards have been told if you have a barcode to let you through until it is absolutely fixed. If you have any questions, contact the office and we'll give you an update. UCO reporter update, please. Ms. Ruth.
Good morning, everybody. By now, you've gotten your newspaper for October. It was a bigger issue, 40 pages. You may have gotten it a little late this month because of the rain. It was held up, delivery was held up a little bit. In the paper, you got an insert of the season brochures. This is a first for us, but the purpose was to enhance ticket sales. We want you to order tickets. If you look at the budget insert in your packet, you'll see that for the 8 months ending August, we're ahead $1,134, or approximately $140 a month. That has gotten better even in September. In the coming months, you're going to see UCO election notices. There's one in your packet now. That one will appear in the November issue. And we'll have others in December and January, and also a guide for preparing your bio if you want to run for a seat for an office or for the executive board. You must follow that outline and get it to me at the email address listed there. Other than that, all I can say is Happy Halloween.
Thank you, Ruth.
Excuse me. Northampton N has not received the UCO paper.
Okay, I'll have some sent to you right now.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else that did not receive the UCO reporter this month? Okay.
Okay.
Canterbury C.
I'll have it sent right over.
Okay.
Oh, boy.
Okay.
On it.
Okay. If you do not, usually by the last Saturday, Sunday of the month, you should receive the paper. If you do not and you think it was delivered, call the office or email Donald or Ruth or myself and let us know, and we'll make sure that we have copies delivered to your building. Okay. Mr. Niels.
Morning, everybody. So Greg is, your county commissioner, Greg Weiss, is out of town. He's at a conference, but he wanted me to be here to tell you about some things that are going on in the county and to let you know that we can always be reached at 355-2202 if you have any questions. So one of the things that's going on is the 6-acre parcel next to the library right by the entrance to Century Village. The county surplused that land, and they did that because they want that land used to be for housing, for affordable and workforce housing. Staff prepared this item about a month ago, and initially we were kind of taken aback because it was on an agenda, and we had not heard about it, and we had not told you guys about it. So Greg got a little mad at staff, and they pulled the item from the agenda. We talked to UCO about it, and since it's moved forward. So what's going to happen? It's about 6 acres. It's going to now go for an RFP. So there are several developers that can come forward with proposals as to how they want to build affordable workforce housing on it. It's important to Greg that there's also senior housing on that parcel, and it's important to Greg that obviously the road that runs parallel to Okeechobee already has issues, and access onto Okeechobee is going to be a problem. So I don't know how it's going to shake out, but we just started the process, and along the way, I'll keep you posted. It's also in the UCO Reporter, so be sure to read that. Lastly, I have been getting calls from some of you about people having a hard time paying utility bills. If that happens, or if you know someone who's struggling to pay a utility bill, don't wait till the last minute. Call me. There are funds available for qualifying seniors that can help paying water bills and paying utility bills. So if you know someone who's struggling, let them call me. Call 355-2202 or send me an email. And also more information about this is in the UCO Reporter. I got to leave a little bit early today, so if there are any questions for me, maybe you want to ask them now. But that's all I got. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we're going to have Varissa from the Port of Palm Beach.
Hey everyone, my name is Varissa Lal Das. That's Varissa, like Marissa with a V. I am your Port Commissioner for District 2. I wanted to just give you a quick update on the traffic situation and efforts we've undertaken to try to increase the flow. We moved a railroad stop further down. Previously, it was at the intersection of Blue Heron and MLK, and it was kind of causing traffic, sometimes for up to 30 minutes. So we moved the stop further down, and now the time stops that we've been doing are less than 5 minutes. And this is how it's going to be moving forward. So I just wanted to let you know that if you're in that area and you previously were avoiding it because of railroad stops, that's not going to be the case anymore. Thank you so much. See you guys later.
Thank you. Mr. Andrew Wyatt. He's part of the clerk of court.
Good morning, y'all. My name is Andrew Watt. I am with the clerk of the courts. Bear with me. I don't have contact info yet. I literally just started Monday. But I wanted to come introduce myself. If you guys have any questions, any issues that you need from us, I will be your point of contact for anything. One thing we do want to kind of focus on, and it's playing a little bit off of what happened to the gentleman with the Amazon scam. We are starting to see some property fraud spikes going on. We do have a service. You type in your property. We will alert you if anybody tries to do anything with your property. We're seeing where they're coming in, they'll put a lien, they'll do any kind of thing to get information from you, and then they'll go and use your information to get a mortgage, get loans, all sorts of different problems. We're seeing a slight spike. We know it's going to start happening more as season happens. More people coming in, they start hitting more and more. Other than that, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. I'll be here all meeting, and look forward to seeing you all next month as well.
Thank you. Daniel Eisinger. Sorry if I mispronounced your name.
Oh, you're one of the few that got it just right. Eisinger is it. So I'm Dan Eisinger. I work at the Public Defender's Office. Carrie Howitt is your elected public defender, and she's been so for about 23 years. Have you heard of her? Anybody? I guess you guys wouldn't really need public defenders, but let me tell you why it's so important to have a public defender. To me, and I've been the chief assistant public defender, so number 2 under Carrie. I've been there for 20 years. It's where I started my legal career and where I hope to end it. It means that much to me. But the reason it's so important for the community is that, to me, we are all at our best when our judges act ethically and with courage, when our police act with morals and with service in mind, when our state attorneys prosecute the cases they should with ethics and a high standard, and when public defenders there to defend the voiceless, the people that need someone to stand up for them to make sure that their rights are protected. When all of those things are checked off, we can be awfully proud of where we live. When those things aren't working right, we all suffer. We can't be proud of our judicial system then. So I'm proud to say I've been part of it for 20 years. I've tried just about every case you can imagine, including homicide cases and death penalty cases. It means that much to me. I'm a local product. I'm from Palm Beach County. I was raised here. I went to Suncoast High School in Riviera Beach and University of Florida for undergrad and law school. And I came back because I wanted to give back. I used to have an Aunt Bee who lived right here in Century Village, and I would come every Sunday with my dad to play Rummy Cube, and it was a lot of fun. I miss her. But I wanted to give back in terms of my career. I didn't want to go into private practice. I like money, but I was willing to forego that for a while. I started making about $35,000 a year as an attorney at the public defender's office, but it meant that much to me. I wanted to give back to my community so much, and I continue to do so. I live in Wellington, or the Royal Palm area, with my 3 kids and wife, Amy. And I hope to get to know all of you very well as I continue to run for public defender. Some people say, well, gosh, you want to replace Carrie? And I say, well, there is no replacing Carrie. She is a legend in our legal community. But I surely hope to continue our ascension to greatness in the office. We already are considered one of the top offices, if not the top office in the state of Florida. And my goal is to get us to the top office in the whole damn country. And that's my goal. I can just tell you one initiative that we're doing that I think would probably resonate with some of you, because I do hear this from the community often, is the mental health crisis in Palm Beach County. I'm sure you all know of or have relatives who suffer from mental illness, who aren't getting the services they need. I see in our courts, we have people languishing in the jail on trespass charges, the most minor of offenses, and not because they're bad people, and not because they're looking to hurt people, but because they're very sick. So I initiated a mental health court, a misdemeanor court, where we're not focused on figuring out who's guilty. We're not trying to figure out who's necessarily even incompetent to proceed. We're looking to get them services, linking them up with services. Because if they're healthy, and if they're feeling good, guess what they're not going to do? They're not going to trespass, and they're not going to be nuisances in your communities. So we've gotten a lot of support, even from the county commission recently. They're looking to help us with funding, maybe even from Tallahassee, which is super exciting to me, because it shows that we're doing something good, something positive, and something that's working. So I just wanted to share that initiative with you, but I appreciate your time, and I look forward to seeing you as I continue on towards being the next public defender. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Please try to keep your comments to 3 minutes or less. Thank you. Next is Adam Frankel.
I'll make it quick. Good morning, everyone. My name is Adam Frankel. It's so nice to be with you all today. I am currently in my 5th term as a city commissioner in Delray Beach. I also am a former assistant public defender, and I am going to be seeking the office of public defender now that Carrie Howitt, the current public defender, has decided not to seek re-election. Dan, you're lucky. I started at $28,000 when I was hired in 1999, and I spent 3 years starting my legal career. And the public defender's office has changed a lot, has grown a lot, and Carrie Howitt has done a wonderful job with that. So again, my name is Adam Frankel. I'm sure I will be seeing much of you as the campaign and election goes on for the next year or so, and I appreciate you having me this morning. Thank you.
Thank you. And we have Greg Lerman. He's not here? Oh, okay. So, do we have any unfinished business? No unfinished business. Do we have any new business to be brought before the Delegate Assembly? Hearing none. Good of the order. Okay.
Good morning. My name's Leon Sanchez, longtime resident of Chatham H. I'd like to bring up the subject of charging stations. Charging stations for EV, electrical vehicle cars, becoming very popular. And like me, I would probably like to buy one, but I hesitate because where would I charge it? So I'm looking in Century Village. Is there a possibility that in Century Village we could have some type of central charging station? I know there's currently 2 charging stations right in the back of the UCO building, but those are for the cars for the security. So that's limited. I also realize that each condo association can probably do their own thing with charging stations, but I think it might be very useful to do something like we do with building insurance. have one central focus where maybe we can get some assistance from UCO to help all of the condo associations with charging stations.
We have looked into this in the past, and we're still working on it.
Okay, thank you.
But anybody can put it in their buildings at their expense. So you're not limited, as long as your building okays it and you get all the proper permits and everything else, that will be your personal charging station.
Right, I understand that, right.
Okay,
Thank you.
no problem.
Good morning. Les Rivkin, Stratford J. We have pillboxes, and I would like to see us have battery boxes. We have a lot of rechargeable batteries that get thrown in the dumpsters, and they really should be recycled.
If I'm not mistaken, you can bring that to the recycle place off of 45th Street. Okay. Yes, sir.
Good morning. I'm very pleased I'm from Salisbury C. Our building has a record of not attending this delegate assembly for years, so I'm glad to be here, even though I'm not a delegate. I'm very pleased to hear about the charging stations. One of the reasons I haven't purchased an EV, which is a good thing if you can afford it to save the environment, is that it's very difficult to charge it when the car is so far away from your home. Charging stations are nice, but if you can charge it from your home, the FPNL has a beautiful program where you can pay them $35 a month, and then there's unlimited charging you can do from your home. And to have a charging from your home, all you need is a 210 volts outlet, so that you cannot do a 110 volt. 110 volts will work very slowly, so you need a 220 volts. And so if you can get an electrician to put a 220 volt right in your parking spot with the wire underground, because we don't want to have electrical wires going, then it can be done. So it's a lot of work.
I'm taking it.
However, the problem is if you just put it out there in the parking lot, anybody can steal your electricity. So you need to lock it up somehow. So those are the only two things we have to do. If we can do it as a delegate, if we can do it in every building, the value of this village will go up substantially. I can guarantee you that. Thank you for listening.
Donald, could you answer that, please?
Yeah, no problem. All right, guys, nobody can deny that electric vehicles are a good thing for the environment and logistically speaking. As far as running 220 home run lines out to your parking spot, there are a lot of things that have to be addressed here. One of them is substantial improvement to the common element. That always requires a membership vote. Definitely engineering, definitely talking with your insurance company. It's not as simple as this gentleman is saying. So I just want to put that out there. If you are considering it, you start with an engineer. And that's all I got to say. Thank you.
Okay. Do we have any more unfinished business?
Somebody over here.
Oh, I'm sorry.
My name is Becky Zane. I live in Camden G. My question to the UCO board is the crosswalks along West Drive where I live are horrendous this time of year, and when the seasonal people come down, they will not stop for you trying to cross the walkways. There's no signage in that area that these are crosswalks for people. I see signs in other parts of the village, so I don't know why we can't get them on West Drive there, because you cannot stop. Security won't stop for you. The buses won't stop for you. People just fly down that road as fast as they can go, 40 miles an hour, whatever. And just because the sheriffs come in here and give people tickets, it's very unsafe for people trying to cross. I've seen people with walkers out there trying to cross. People will not even stop for people with, apparatuses to try to walk. It's unfair. And I just wave at people and say, thank you for stopping. People will give you the middle finger. It's rude. And there are laws that you have to stop for somebody in a crosswalk, but people don't stop. And it's rude, and it's irresponsible of driving people, and that needs to be addressed. It's just signs. And I know they had talked about putting some kind of bumper things through there. It would be helpful to slow the traffic down. It's just not right for people trying to cross the street. So thank you.
Donald?
Good morning, Mrs. Zane. Thank you. As far as these crosswalks go, they are called ladder crosswalks. They're painted with reflective paint. One of the ways that we get people to slow down and mind the pedestrians is improved enforcement. We just have the cops in here and let them write up some tickets. On your suggestions for signs, Mrs. Zane, I'll take a look today. If it's possible to get a sign up, that's really not a big or expensive thing. We do follow a manual. It's called a Manual of Uniform Traffic Control Devices, and that determines where these signs can come up and how far they have to be from the crosswalk. But I'll be happy to take a look near your house later today. As far as your other comment about speed bumps on our main roads, there are no plans for speed bumps or speed tables at this time. Thanks.
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, my name's Peggy Osborne, and I was riding the bus the other day, and the bus driver really was lost on Route 2. And one of the ladies said, "Can anybody help this guy because he doesn't know which way to turn?" And he had a paper, and he was looking at it, and he was trying to figure out which way to go because there's a lot of zigzag in and out, at least 3 or 4
Ma'am,
times.
can I stop you? Did you put this in writing? The time, the
listen,
date,
it's
the
not- I
bus?
just want to let you know that
Ma'am.
the signage, like she was talking about signage, that was my thing when I said to the bus driver, "What's the problem?" I was trying to help him get through and managed to get through till we got to the road to the clubhouse. And he said, "It's the signs." He said there wasn't enough signs, like he's trying to look on the paper and drive and look for signs. So
Ma'am,
I agree.
please, today, before you leave, excuse me, Patricia, go to the front desk. There's a form to be filled out. We need the time, the date, and what bus route it was. And that will be given to Patricia. She's the chair of transportation, so that they can see what the problem was with the bus driver that was driving that route.
Yeah, I don't know if there was a problem with him. I'm going to be honest with you. I myself didn't see a lot of signage, so I'm agreeing with Becky that sometimes there.
Excuse me, they were all
about
trained.
signage.
They were all trained, and if this bus driver doesn't know where he's going, they want to know. They told me that at the meeting, so that's what Fausto was referring to. If you don't let us know, it's the driver, because they're all given instructions. I brought it up a number of times. Some people were let go, some were retrained. So I need to know their name, well, not their name, but the bus, the time, and exactly where it was, and I will pass it on to the company, and that will help.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome. There's someone on your left.
Thank you. Go ahead.
I second what the previous lady said about people not stopping, and that also applies to bicyclists. I fell down once in the bicycle, and the problem is that people that come from, let's say, New York or somewhere, they're snowbirds or whatever the reason is, they don't understand that there are people here with visually impairment, hearing impairment. You have to slow down. So I suggest, my suggestion is that the security people should be able to stop the speeders. Maybe they just need a speedometer or whatever. Even if they don't give them ticket, they need to warn them to slow down. And it's very, very important because, this is a village where, we have a lot of problems, and it's 20 miles per hour. I don't think it's ever being observed in our main perimeter, even in the perimeter drive. And speed bumps is a terrible idea because if you're a bicyclist, it's a terrible, terrible idea. So when I go to Hastings, I have to go in between the speed bumps so that I don't go up and down with my bicycle. So the speed bumps actually is a terrible, terrible idea. So we should not have speed bumps. We should have stop signs, slower speeds, and regulation of the speed. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anything else before the good of the order? Any other? Oh, yes?
Yes.
Bobby?
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Ed?
I want to take a minute of everybody's time who's sitting out front. If they realize the amount of work that's done by your officers. And I'm going to bring to your attention, because the last few minutes has been on transportation. I've attended several of the transportation meetings, and I think that Patricia Caputo, who has taken that job, has done a sterling job. I would say the attendance at the transportation meeting is probably greater than possibly every other meeting, because a good portion of it is a gripe zone. And you can't satisfy everybody. But some of the questions that have been raised can be solved. I mentioned that to Patricia, and there is software that could be installed in the buses that will answer 90% of the concerns that were just raised. It will tell you when the bus stopped, when it didn't stop. It helps you when you're routing, and it lets you know if the driver is on the bus, the driver is not on the bus, and it's not a great deal of money. There's another problem that has to be solved. But I could tell you from the first time she took this committee over till now, I would say that 85% of what she's spending is criticism. So I congratulate her, and I think you should too, for the job that she's done.
Well, Ed, all the buses have GPS, and we were just informed that every bus had one camera. They now have 8. So that's why we need the bus number, the time, the schedule, and they can go back and check all 8 cameras and GPS to find out what's going on. That's why it's important, if you have an issue, put it in writing. We put it into our computer system, and it is forwarded to the bus company, and then Patricia can follow up on it. And I believe, Patricia, it was reported that a lot of the complaints have had people from the bus company call them directly to try to address the
Correct.
issues.
The people told me themselves, and then the Academy bus told me at the meeting that he's addressing them, calling people. So if you have a complaint and no one has gotten a hold of you or spoken to you, please let me know. I'm available always for people. Always here to help you, okay?
Okay. Bobby Levin made a motion, and it was seconded by Sandy Levine. We're adjourned. Have a wonderful day, and happy Columbus Day. I'm sorry? True. They had their hand up beforehand.
However,
Next time. I'll get you next month.
now's not the time. We never get a chance.
It's very important.
I think next week, no, I'm not. No, the
You
bus-
said I can't